What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Hey, have you guys ever wondered what happens when a bunch of old geezers at some record company take, like, I don't know, 3 millennials in their late 20s and attempt to dress them up in what they think is the epitome of Gen Z alt-girl TikTok core outfits? Well, the answer is every kid and teenager on the planet immediately takes notice and destroys any chance of the band's success by exposing them for being industry plants, and they get basically memed into oblivion over the course of, like, less than a week. Literally, this has all been happening in the last few days. Today I'm going to be talking about a little 3-piece all-female band that's come out called Tramp Stamps, and they are as cringy as that name implies. So make sure you keep watching until the end, especially if you enjoy watching people get exposed for being just absolute idiots. Honestly, there's a lot to unpack here, and I imagine you're going to be quite baffled by the stupidity of this group. But basically, this band seemingly came out of nowhere and attempted to market themselves on TikTok, which is totally fine, you know, that's what all bands have to do nowadays. You literally have to do outreach like that. But the problem with this is they're acting like they're all some indie band, and they're about as genuine as some $30 Yeezys you just bought off Wish.com, bro. Like, as soon as they gained some sort of traction on TikTok, all the Gen Z kids came out of the woodworks and literally just started to dismantle everything about their fake appearances and fake emo/alt style, which, as you can tell from their outfits here and their social media pages, they want their image to basically be Lil Peep meets Fall Out Boy, which has already been done by a lot of people, but they just do it worse than everyone. They're like the Walmart brand of, like, alternative pop, and it's just, it's not good. So just to start things off, to prove how embarrassingly out of touch with the scene and young people in general this band is, look at this clip of them singing along to some popular emo songs. I mean, unfortunately, I do have to alter these songs to avoid YouTube absolutely destroying this video, but you know what these songs are most likely, and I'm basically showing you this just to prove they don't know any of the words to these absolutely massive songs. Check this out. Honestly, dude, stuff like this brings me physical pain to look at. I don't know why, but that first song I showed you is the biggest offense here, because I'm Not Okay by My Chemical Romance is literally the emo anthem, and it's like they haven't even put in 10 minutes of their own time researching this kind of music or this subculture before making these TikToks and making this band and having that be their main image. It's so cringy that they know maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 words from these songs. They keep leaning in to, like, listen, like, oh yeah, I know this one, yeah, here's 2 words of it. Like, they clearly know none of the songs at all, and the struggle is just so evident. It's like 3 middle-aged moms trying to seem relatable to their angsty teenage kids. What's even worse is that a lot of these songs are from a time where these 3 were probably, you know, teenagers or in college, and the fact that they don't know almost any of these songs shows that they were never into this look or culture, even when they were younger, until the record label that hired them told them they had to put on these costumes and start to act emo. It's just so genuine, if you ask me. The thing that is most hilarious about this whole situation is how blatantly obvious their industry plant tactics are. I gotta hand it to these kids over on TikTok, bro. Like, I am downright scared of the power that young people possess on the internet. Within hours of going viral, my entire For You page was just videos exposing these frauds and showing just how much of a blunder their entire social media strategy is. Before we really jump into it, I do want to explain for those of you that are lost what an industry plant is. So for those who don't know, basically it's a musician that blows up seemingly out of nowhere and gives off that vibe or tries to show that they're organic and grew naturally, you know, they're just some small act that grew big without the backing of a major label, when in reality they are literally given all the support in the world from the label, and they only have listeners and budgets for things like music videos and shows because the record label in charge of them is paying for all of it, and they're basically a creation of some old record execs that just want money. The first thing that tipped people off to these 3 being fakes is their absolutely abysmal attempts at looking alt. I mean, not to get sidetracked, but this literally looks like when they cast 30-year-olds in high school movies, and you could just tell it's not authentic when you're sitting in the theater. It's made by someone that's out of touch with what school actually looks like, and just none of it really works. Like, they're not selling this image at all.
I don't wanna talk right now, 'cause you threw up on my couch.
The main thing that was sketchy and kind of made people realize they were plants at first was how good their social media was, like, off the bat. This band's only been together for like a few months at this point, and literally they only have 3 songs out, I believe, which we will get to, and trust me, they are just delightfully terrible. But with how new they are to the game, their Instagram is full of professional graphic design, animations, and their freaking website is professionally made as well. So either these ladies can literally do it all and just have all the bases covered without any support, and they have all the time in the world to devote to this project, even though they probably have to work normal jobs at the size they're at, or they are 100% industry plants. I'll let you make that decision, but it's pretty obvious if you ask me. I think they underestimated how good young people are at detecting when someone's trying too hard to be something they're not, or just, you know, playing a part, basically. And do you guys remember what I said earlier about being scared of the power young people possess? Well, these freaking junior CSI agents find little details, like the fact that all their roots are grown out to the same length, which shows they all dyed their hair at the exact same time, most likely at the start of this project when the label approached them and told them you're gonna be an emo band. The hair thing is just weird too, like they're clearly trying to market themselves to basically be the Powerpuff Girls of bands, and it's just not working for me. It looks so stupid, and they're trying so hard in every aspect. Enough introduction, let's get down to the nitty gritty here, the music itself. Now, I'll admit, the production's high quality, which is to be expected from, again, an industry plant band like this, and the music videos are okay. I mean, they're good quality, but oh my god, is the music so bad. Like, these lyrics will put you into a coma with how cringe-inducing they are. So their aesthetic that they're going for, basically, alongside the emo stuff and like the pop punk stuff, is comprised of boys suck, girls rule, school sucks, teachers suck, love sucks, drinking is all we do for fun and we're cool because of that, just all mixed together, which sounds like it sucks, right? I mean, it obviously does, but the other element is it's all also sprinkled in with some unnecessary amount of vulgarity. Like, it just reminds me of how kids cuss when they first learn about bad words, and you know, they don't really know how to put them in sentences properly, so they just interject them into random phrases, and it just doesn't really work. It sounds very off and immature. Or they say it a ridiculous amount of times because they just think that's edgy and sounds grown up. I seriously don't get how some of these songs' lyrics were written, and when you hear these, you're gonna see what I mean, and I don't understand how they thought this would appeal to a younger crowd. It's like they wanted to make WAP 2.0, but through the lens of an out-of-touch millennial who is still clinging onto their youth with a firm grasp that is slowly giving away. One of their worst songs, titled 1-800-Miss Your Guts, yes, that is the real title of the song, which, to remind you, is one of the 3 songs they've released so far, is just, again, so bad. Listen to this section's lyrics and tell me you don't die a little inside just hearing it. The chorus is just a Tumblr girl and a skater boy taking on the world, stuck in Illinois. I about had an aneurysm reading that, and it only gets worse. Then they go on to talk about prom and how they just are so edgy and mess with their teachers because teachers suck and kids rule, yeah! I mean, I'm getting major Steve Buscemi holding a skateboard over his shoulder vibes from this whole thing. Like, seriously, y'all should be worried about getting your 401ks invested into and not talking about prom still. That was like a decade ago, y'all. They even had a live session in front of some school lockers in case you forgot they're supposed to be teenagers and relatable. But the other song, the main single from their EP, titled... and I promise you, I'm not making this up. It's titled, We Got Drunk and Made an EP. God, such a bad name. But it has more of those edgelord and wannabe controversial lyrics that the internet sees right through. Watch this weird slam poetry rendition of the first verse that they posted to their TikTok for some reason, which is an absolute goldmine of cringe content, and tell me that this is not laughably bad.
We've been hanging out for a while now.
When I say hanging out, I mean around.
And not only in the bed, but on every couch. In your best friend's house.
God, we're really loud.
So why you telling all of your friends I'm psycho?
Like you think they don't know how much we...
Maybe if I told them that you cry in bed, you'd have a little respect.
For the... Get.
See, I told you, this is like surface level stuff, and the old executives see this on the internet and think, hey, this will really resonate with the kids, they'll eat this stuff up. It's like printing free money. Even though now it's the exact opposite, and literally the whole platform is clowning on these 3 for their blunders.
All the small things, true care, truth brings.
Speaking of blunders though, not only were they not very slick at hiding the fact that they have professionals in the industry backing them and helping them with just about every aspect of their social media and music careers, they are absolutely terrible at hiding the fact that they have fake engagement and commenters on their post, as well as a whole fake stan account they made to defend their crappy music and just project overall, which I will get into. Now, I can't fully confirm this, but if you go look at their Instagram, all their comments that just aren't absolutely trashing these 3 and mocking their attempt at making emo music are all made by private accounts with very little followers, which is really suspicious because those comments are all like really oddly positive, saying things that, again, I think old people would probably expect young people to constantly be saying, like, yes, queen, this is absolute slayage. I can't handle the slays. comments. Like, it's just so hilarious that they think anyone would believe these are real comments. I'm sure I'm wrong on a couple of these, and there are just truly some people out there who are actually into this band, and for those people, my condolences. You really gotta expand your horizons. But the only other commenters that are positive are either by the bandmates, who all comment on every post hyping each other up, and they're all verified on Instagram with not very many followers, which again is very suspicious. But the only other positive comments are made by other verified people on Instagram that also don't have very many followers, and they're either fellow industry plants or literal record label staff. Now, I could not make this up. The first profile I clicked while doing research on their Instagram comment section said that she was an A&R for some record company. Like, come on, put a little bit of effort into making this seem real. I mean, she even has plant enthusiast in her bio, which is just a wonderful coincidence. I know clearly she's talking about real plants, but she's also incredibly enthusiastic towards these industry plants as well, so I just thought that was a little funny detail. But now let's get into the best part of this whole idiotic attempt at music marketing, their stan account on Twitter. Now, you're probably asking yourself right now, how on earth would a band that started a few months ago with only 3 official songs and like, I don't know, 20,000 followers on their social medias have a stan account already? Well, the answer should be obvious based on their history. Yup, they made their own stan account and they're running it to make it seem like they have some diehard fan base. That is just sad. I don't know how much lower you can get for that. And for those of you that are out of touch with the lingo here, stan accounts are basically super fans that only post about that topic that they're standing. So it's basically just someone who's addicted to a band and will make all of their tweets about them. And apparently there's one for Tramp Stamps, even though they only have 3 songs and they're all trash. But some of the content on this is just unexplainable. Like, truly, I don't know what is going through any of their heads when they made these tweets. As an example, look at this weirdly photoshopped image of what it would look like if Tramp Stamps were Stonewall protests in 1969. Like, okay, why did you Photoshop them sitting in the bottom corner of this image all awkwardly for no reason? This post makes no sense. It's absolutely just virtue signaling, trying to reel in and appeal to the LGBTQ plus crowd, and just is overall in bad taste. Despite them being made fun of for being so old on TikTok, they weren't even alive or near being born at the time of these riots, and literally 2 of the 3 of them are straight married women from Nashville. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned, but the hook of their biggest single is I'd Rather Die Than Hook Up With Another Straight White Guy. So like, that is just a big oof. Y'all are missing the target a little bit here, to say the least. And really the thing that blew this all out of the water is the fact that whichever of these 3 stooges that's running this fake fan account messed up and exposed themselves in the dumbest way. Someone asked the stan account where the band is from, and they replied, "We are currently located in Tennessee." We. Like, it's us. So I don't know how you messed that up, bro, but you are so bad at being an undercover fake fan account. They then deleted that tweet quickly and replied to the person saying, "They are from Tennessee, I'm pretty sure." Acting like now it's ambiguous and the quote fan, or stan I guess, doesn't know anything about the band or where they're from all of a sudden. Then they tried to DM the person who posted the screenshots of them saying "we" and offered to Venmo them $5 to delete it. $5 freaking dollars. I don't know what's going on in their heads right now. That's a hilarious misstep right there, and further proof that these 3 were just not cut out for this. I mean, if you're gonna have some giant plan of interjecting a band into the current scene of music, you have to be as genuine as possible, or at least hire people competent enough that know how to cover their tracks a little bit better. I mean, the Stan Twitter account and most of their other fan accounts you may find were all made in March 2021. It literally says so on the profile. And there's actually even further controversies if you continue to dig deeper, such as the distribution company that they're signed to being owned by this guy named Dr. Luke, who, for those who don't know, is famously exposed by Kesha for being a monster of a human. He did terrible things to her and other people in the industry, and somehow still has a job, and actually works with this group, so that's really not a good look. As well as the lead singer of this project, Marissa, has tweeted some very terrible things, although that was years ago, and I haven't honestly gone through the work to fully vet these, so that's why I'm kind of skimming past it, but go ahead and do your own research if you'd like to. I honestly am just wanting my knowledge of this band at this point to be entirely wiped from my freaking mind with that little flash thing they use in Men in Black or something. Like, Will Smith, where you at, bro? I need you.
I'm a hex girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. Put a spell on you.
So overall, this band has made some huge mistakes in their marketing, and I love how the internet collectively just got together and realized almost instantly how fake it all was. I don't know why, but stuff like this getting exposed is just freaking hilarious to me, and these bigwig record execs think they can just manipulate people into liking things, and that doesn't always work, clearly. With that being said, there are probably a majority of the artists in the public spotlight right now who are industry plants in some way or another. I know that, we all do, it's kind of expected at this point, but again, my point with this video is how little they tried, and they still expected to get away with it all. That's the funny part to me. For some reason, I also always think past the surface level of things, and I don't know why, but just the thought of how much scrambling must be going on back at the record label's offices right now is just absolutely funny to me. Like, there must be some stressful meetings going on about how much they missed the mark with this strategy. Honestly though, I hope you all enjoyed this video and this topic as much as I did. It's not often that we all get together on the internet and just meme on some people like we did with these three, so I'm happy this was discovered. That about does it though for today's video. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.